Hello everybean and welcome back to 2064. In the last episode what happened is that we met a new being that is a friend of ours, and then we also got an ID, met police stuff, went to a bar and found a being. Thank goodness you're finally awake. I have spent the past 30 minutes calculating the odds of you being indefinitely incapacitated or immobilized. Some being ambushed us at the apartment. Oh, that's what happened. After you collapsed, my power systems were jammed by whoever attacked us. It took me 2 minutes to reboot and call the ambulance. When we left, I noticed that they had done the same thing to the NSFPD ROM that was standing post. It takes a lot of power to crash one of those, even temporarily. Who do you think did this? I now believe my original hypothesis to have been correct. Hayden must have been kidnapped by a powerful organization looking to get control of his research. Trashing our apartment may have been the cover for the theft of the data cache we were looking for. And why would they just attack us and leave? If we walked in on them while they were searching the apartment for Hayden's files, I can understand them stunning us and make their escape. Maybe they want you to lead them to the rest of the research? A reasonable deduction. But if they don't yet have Hayden's research, we may still have time to rescue him before anything really happens. Did you see who hit us? No, I didn't. They assaulted us from behind and nothing showed up on my optics before I was disrupted. They either had cloaking of some kind or were extraordinarily careful while making their way into the apartment. My optics, while now not top of the line, are better than the off-of-the-shelf ROMs, and I should have been able to detect any thermal charge changes from some being there. Luckily, the hospital staff didn't find your carrying of a carton of spoiled milk around to be a cause for concern. And finally, here's your commemorative glass of water that you got from Alfie. Looks like it got broken. No! Oh, now all we have is broken commemorative. Oh, no. Excuse me. Are you talking about Hayden Weber? Who's behind the curtain? Patient. Sorry for being a noisy Nancy. Hayden's an old friend of mine, and this sound all too familiar. Has anything happened to him? Who are you? Of course, I've not yet introduced myself. My name is Dr. Yannick Fairlight, and I'm also a founder and former CEO of System 1 Software, now owned by Parallax. He is telling the truth, at least as far as I can, and I do recall Hayden mentioning a Dr. Fairlight at least once in passing at some point. See? I don't bite. Were you listening to our conversation? I hate to be the one to tell you, but privacy screens are hardly soundproof. However, if this situation concerns us both, perhaps we can both help each other. I won't press you for details, but perhaps I can be of some assistance. I remember my association with Hayden fondly, and I'd be happy to help in any way that I can. Yes, as I've mentioned, Parallax acquired my company, System 1 Software. I accepted the CTO position and additionally served as on Parallax's board for several years. Do you know anything about Hayden's research? His research? No, not so much. I remember at the time he had an interest in advanced machine sapience, but that is a realm of science fiction. He once showed me a prototype of his. She was quite clever, very, very convincing, but you could tell she did not contain the spark of life. I assumed that you are another of his creations. Perhaps I should have had more faith in Hayden's little hobby. Do you know the name of her, or where she might be now? Hayden has told me so little of his past research. I'm sorry, Turig, but why did I skip that? If any of my contacts in Parallax make mention of your erstwhile sibling, I'll pass it on to you. Thank you, Dr. Fairlight. I will admit I don't have much to offer until there's more information. Is there anything you can tell me? I'd like to help in any way I can. What did you say about Hayden's apartment? What did you find? The first time we went, nothing. But when we went back to extract the computer's data cache, the place had been pillaged and the human revolutions had spray painted slogans all over our walls. Hayden's computer was gone and we were assaulted. And now we're here injured and losing our trail with each passing second. We're still frustratingly in the dark and running out of time. I fear Hayden is slipping out of reach and I am failing him. I'm very sorry to hear that. I wish I could do more. Hayden's company was most enjoyable. I think I have a lead for you that will prove most useful. You said you found Human Revolution slogan spray painted on the walls? I am acquaintances with the man leading the current Human Revolution protests at the Genius Clinic. His name is Brian Mulberry. After an introduction from me, he may be willing to shine some light on a particular event. Apologies you're involved? No, not in this lifetime. Even if I so desired, I don't think I would approve of much of my work. While Mr. Mulberry and I were associated with each other once, it was before he joined the Human Revolution. I find their methodology too aggressive and their stated goals dangerously backwards. While I pushed for careful deployment of technology after the Parallax System 1 merger, I am no caveman. After all, I'd likely be dead without the advanced technology that goes in this chair. What the heck is wrong with you? I can't believe that you're still pulling the exact same stuff you were years ago, but this time is truly unreal. Do you even realize how bad impersonating a police officer is? It's a felony. I should be slapping cuffs on you and dragging your sorry off right now. Detective Rivers, wait, I'm sorry. The plan to lift your credentials to use them to access Hayden's apartment was entirely mine. Also, I feel it necessary to mention that though you are understandably upset, such language and imagery is beneath you as a respected officer of the law. Oh great, the robot did, huh? I guess I'll have to take you into jail then instead. Then what do you want? And don't try to take all the blame. I know that a certain Sunbeam lent you a helping hand. It's not like you have any hardware to pull off alone, little bot. Well, to be honest, Detective Rivers, I think I'll tell you the whole truth since my friend here trusts you. Keep it under your hat though, metaphorically. I am no ordinary ROM, but actually a prototype designed by the first fully sapient machine, to be the first fully sapient seat. I suspect creating me is a main factor behind Hayden's disappearance beyond his day-to-day research for Parallax. My name is Turing. Okay, hi Turing. Well, that is a dang bigger problem than you first let on, huh, old pal? The first machine sapient beings are gonna have things to say about that. Especially the Human Revolution. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. You sure know how to get yourself dropped in the drink. I guess I'm laying you off the hook. This time, and only because this time I can let you get away with this safely. But mostly because I think you're right. Some being higher up in the apartment is trying to delay any research into Hayden's disappearance. Here's the story. Apparently the investigations you ran into this morning were about the lock on the apartment door being reported by broken by a neighbor. The building couldn't reach Hayden, so they went ahead and got it fixed on their own. But the NSFPD sent a bot to check things out and guard the place for a while afterward. Obviously, you and I know there's a bigger story. But when I filled out the missing being report, I was informed in no uncertain terms that I am to wait an entire 48 hours before I can upgrade the existing case. Why? Just on the off chance the door being busted and Hayden being missing are unrelated, and my search messes something up for the completion of the break-in report. As if there's too many moving parts to this piece to piece anything together, and it's not fun trying to argue with the bureaucrats that one thing happened over another. These little incidents of smashing stuff and spray painting sound more like Froyo Standpoint 2.0 to them than a serious abduction. And I suppose I won't be very useful as a witness to the kidnapping without an explanation, without explaining the makeup of my being to the entire department, which will only scandalize things further. Darn it all. It sounds like it's going to be up to us. Yeah, so stop messing around, Hewwo. There's certainly a story here, but if you keep botching your moves, you'll blow it. I'd certainly rather you not be involved at all, but I know that this isn't going to happen at any point. I've got a bad feeling beings are going to end up dead over this. I don't want you to be one of them, buddy. Thank you. You're a very kind friend, and I really don't want to be the one making the call to your sister. Please. I'm sorry, Lexi. I'll be careful, I promise. Yeah, I know. Patient Horiel, my records indicate that you have been admitted for possible cranial trauma. You should currently be assigned to bed, resting. While I am truly delighted to see that you have regained consciousness, I must insist that you return to your room to be examined by a medical professional immediately. No need. I accidentally zapped myself with my own thing. An accidental discharge of a weapon is a serious event. I must insist that you remain for treatment. Even non-lethal stars can leave you with lasting neurological damage. I insist. Very well. I am prohibited by law from detaining you here against your will, Patient Horiel. But you should note that in your release paperwork that
willful early termination medical services releases by a hospital and its parent company, CZHC, from legal liability should your condition persist or worsen outside your care. Additionally, all tests and medical data from
your medical billing makes me glad I'm sympathetic. You should look for more paying journalism work before you get shot again. Well, we're free to leave. Why not go back home first, yes? You're such a cute little plant, Wilty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Boo, 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 boo. With more of that, we'll surely be on the way to the luscious greenery in no time. This action will have consequences, probably. I doubt it. I want to talk to her more. I like her a lot. I don't know why. Sorry, I don't think we've met before. I'm Gus. Is this Gus Johnson? You have a really cool ROM. How's Stardust treating you? Not bad. That's good, but we can do better than not bad. Let me know how I can help. Majid may have a memory for mixed drinks, but he loves listening to his patrons' problems. You'll have to let me or him know if you need any help. We try to run a tight ship over here. Hey, TOMCAT. How you doing? Hey y'all, how's the search? Not great. Not great. Hayden's apartment was ransacked and some being stole a data cache. Dang, I can't say I saw that one coming. I figured they'd nabbed anything they needed the first time they hit the place. Huh. Any ideas on who it could have been? The walls had been spray painted with many grotesque human revolution slogans. It is possible that Hayden was targeted by the organizations for his work at Parallax. While my development may have been in secret, he is rather well known for his work on virtual intelligence data. A layman would not understand the critical differences between myself and a VI, nor do I think the average human revolution member would care to make such a distinction. Yannick Fairlight? I see, and? We had a discussion with him about Hayden's situation, then came here. He was very kind to point us in the direction of the Human Revolution protest leader. Well, dang, things sure are getting more serious than I first thought. Y'all need to keep a sharp eye out. Being attacked but means that they're no good. Now to lighten the mood. While y'all are chasing your tails, I managed to find a way to into the Parallax networks. Once I'm in, I should be able to dig out Hayden's personal info file easily though, including anything related to him on all security clearance levels. If Parallax has anything on Hayden's situations, it'll be in there. Fantastic, TOMCAT. I knew Hayden's faith in you was not misplaced. How long until you think it'll take you? Well, that's where the rubber meets the road. Parallax actually has a considerably better net security than last time I cracked in. I'm gonna need physical access. I've got a good idea on where to node for us to slice into this, but it ain't exactly a nice part of town. I guess I'll go grovel until she agrees to help. That's the spirit, Horiel. I need a little bit of time to get all my tools together since Parallax Networks, but y'all keep me updated. Maybe y'all will get lucky enough to find data cache too. But I ain't cut out on it. I ain't gonna count on it. Jess is still hanging around here at Stardust, but I saw her head over to the VIP room. It's hybrid night and she's a popular gal. Just please remember to play nice, or her friends will thump you something fierce. Oh, heck no. Look, I'm really trying to have a good time today, actually, and the Human Revolution crud muffins have made that very hard for me. And your interrogation this morning took a bad day to worse. I asked around about you, Journo, and I don't have anything to say to you. Last thing I need is you potting at me without telling me you're pressed. Besides, the VIP section is only for hybrids and Fwends on hybrid night, and no way am I vouching for you. Hey, Bouncer, we got a capital A over here. You heard her, let's go. Well, that's fair. I'm not gonna judge her for doing that, except being kicked out like that. Perhaps we should try befriending some being nearby and convince them to vouch for us. It's a statistical long shot, but the worst case scenario shouldn't leave an excessive amount of physical damage. Maybe you? Oh, hi! Sorry, I don't really feel like talking. It's been a long day. Maybe after a few drinks in me. Maybe I'll get something really sour. Would you like this? How did you know that was what I was planning on ordering? Well, at least keep me company while I drink it. Yes, I done it. Oh, my stomach. I'm Caitlin. My name's Hewwo. It seems like you were alone for a while. I'm usually a lot more sociable. Things have just been rough today. Care to tell me about it? My brother's going through gene therapy. He still has to go in at least twice a week for health and maintenance. There are human revolutions outside the clinic, making it even harder for him. They're always outside harassing any being coming in. It's exhausting. I'm sorry to hear it's like that. No one else lives around here, so I'm kind of all he's got. But it's not a big deal. He'll be done with the main set of treatments in a few weeks, and we'll be free of them. I just feel bad for every being else they're messing with. He's lucky to have you. Aw, thanks a lot. I'm lucky to have him. So, there's plenty of people here. What made you want to talk to me? No being should be bummed at Stardust, and I had this drink. Oh, geez, this really is my favorite drink. I have to wake up early for class, but I'm at the club, so I'm already too deep in here. Every being needs a break now and then. Well, don't spread this around, but to blow off steam sometimes, I like to write short stories. Nothing too serious, just stories about beings I know. Gonna write a story about me? We'll see. Hey, it's been really nice talking to you, but I feel like I gotta go dancing now. You wanna come with me to the VIP area in the back? Of course. I have some friends here. I have some friends who might be over there. We can hang out with them. They'll like you. Sure. Great, let's go. I feel so bad because I don't like bothering her, but I have to in the game. I'm just gonna have to tough through it. And you're back. You know, as soon as I first saw you, I hoped you dropped like a bad pocket off the mesh net. I've never had to see you again. So, of course, I got off the phone with TOMCAT, practically begging me to help you out. You aren't so good in the long term. You aren't good at the long-term pway thing, are you? Aren't so good at the long term. I think we got off to a bad start here. You mean you don't stick both feet in your mouth every time you talk to a hybrid? Surprising. Let's just get one thing straight here. I'm only going to talk to you because I owe TOMCAT. I don't owe you anything. So if you want my help, you've got to start doing something for me. If you've got a problem with that, tough. My neighborhood, my help, my rules. Sounds fair. I'm happy to help. What do you need? What I don't need is you kissing my only beans I like get to do that. I'm not buying it anyway. I need you to break up those Human Revolution protests. The ones at Gina's clinic on Market Street. I'd like this handled with some stealth, not that I expect to know what discreet means. Either way, just get it done. I got clients in the middle of treatment cycles, and this media circus is making their lives difficult. I know it's not my business, but are you okay? You sound upset. Oh, why would you try to do a pun? Don't do that! Oh. Guess I'll go with this one. No, it's not my business, but are you okay? You sound upset. I'm just great. I'm peachy. My clients get harassed and beaten on the daily. I don't have time or money to help them all, and I have beings like you bothering me on my one day off. So, you gonna braid my fur? And can we talk about all our problems and boys we like? I don't... You're not telling me something. Whoop-dee-doo, you figured it out. Well, fine, have it your way. You want to know what my deal is? You really want me to get sappy? Skin cancer. Stage 3. My prognosis was so advanced that Doc said my bones were already lost. So I had to do something drastic, completely restart my biology from scratch. You ever seen some being with a severe gene splice from something freaky like an insect? That's where a hybrid tech began, you know, where my therapy started. You can't imagine what it's like to have children cry from just looking at you, when beings just see you and sprint the other direction. I had police following me everywhere I went. I lost my apartment. I lost my dignity. Eventually, I was lucky enough to qualify for the cute kitty cat cure to override the expression of chitten. It changed my life. I have my job and my purpose because of it. The fur doesn't scare the rest of the world too much to let me exist. Better an otaku's fluffy wet dream than a monster from a horror VR drama from Japan. My mom still can't look at me straight, not to get even mushier, but as a kid she would sing me a song and she counted all the freckles on my face. She hasn't let that go. You know how your folks look at you when you figure out that you finally had sex or did crash? It's like that all the time. I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh, now you're sorry. You haven't even heard the worst part yet. The amount of gene therapy I underwent that exceeded the limit that the Human Protection Act allows for procreation. So yeah, the government spayed me, as if it wasn't hilariously dark enough. First I'm too ugly to look at, now I'm too messed up to breed. Saving my own life forfeit my right to a person. The Human Protection Act, apparently protecting humans doesn't include me. Only genotypicals who could live in this city or truly think they're the ones who need protection the most. In any case, I had some clean eggs frozen and we'll whip them out whenever I'm ready. Except keeping that stuff on ice cost, and my insurance decided not to pay up due to an elective nature of my feline gene therapy. So I took them to court and won, and I've been doing the same thing for every being else ever since. So there you go. I got cancer, super science fixed me up and left me a freak, and the government sterilized me so I wouldn't go out and make more little monsters. And every being else just gets to be a winner by default. Happy now? How's your savior complex doing? This getting you off? You're not dead and you're still fighting. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I am. Now show me that you're on the right side. I'll be watching. Break up those protests, then we'll talk. Of course. Alright, sounds like we know what we need to do next. Let's go to Market Street and break up those protests for Jess. Well, I think I'm gonna leave it here because that was a bit emotional for me, because it did make me tear up as I was reading. I'm not sure if you could hear in my voice. But either way, this is getting really interesting. I'm really liking this and like the social messages in it, I guess. I have no other words with messages. But either way, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and I hope to see all of you in the next video. Goodbye, nya.